Hey, yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to OG DIY, and we are in the garage. Seems like a familiar saying. In the garage, this time with our fun car. It's a 2015 Porsche Boxster S, and it's time for an oil change. So that's what we're going to do today. It's fairly easy, mid-engine sports car, so you got to do some crawling around underneath. This white shirt's going to get destroyed, so put something on that'll handle scooching around under the car. First thing we're going to do is get it up on ramps. So we're going to put the rear wheels up on ramps, and we'll get after it. I'll show you how I do the oil change on this little Boxster S. Let's go do it. All right, there's the ramps. You're going to need something to drain the oil into, a little cleanup. There's the oil filter, and there is the oil. In my case, it's 0W40. That'll do it. All right. This obviously is the oil sump. And my memory is it's a Torx fitting. These German vehicles often are. Feels like it's got a little play in it. This feels too big altogether, yep. So that's a T50 right there. That looks like that's gonna work, I guess. Baby's on there tighter than I expected it to be. Huh. All right, so this is where a glove would be helpful. Yep, that was time for an oil change. It's pretty dark. So I've got measurements on this drain pan, and it's telling me I'm not even at 4 quarts yet. So when the oil filter comes out, it'll be maybe 1/4 quart. So we're gonna let this drain for a little bit. Hey, just real quick as this continues to drain, I used this Torx fitting and it was a little loose. This is a T50. This 8mm actually fits more snug, and must be the correct one because it fits in there nice and snug. So this is the one I should have used, and it'll use when I tighten it. We're now past 4 quarts on our way up to whatever the final will be. The car is sort of, right, because the rear is jacked up, so there's gonna be some oil that's left in the pan there. The only way for that to come out is if you lifted this thing up flat, like on a vehicle hoist, or if you lifted the front and rear wheels, maybe on some sort of floor jack up front. All right, guys, got a bit of wild hair. I used my scissor jack right up underneath where the lift spot is, Porsche provides. I got that going. The body's rigid enough that it raised up the whole front end and allowed me to get this bottle jack up under here. So just got to be careful. The sequence is bring this bottle jack down first, slowly, stop it, then bring the other side down. Do this gently. At least that's what I'm going to do so I don't have any major mishaps. The good news is doing that, I got another quart, at least a quart out of it. So now I'm approaching, 5.5 quarts, whereas it was starting to slow down at 4.5 quarts. So another 1.5 quarts perhaps that was sitting in the pan by leveling out your car. So that's good. Just wanted to show you this before we move on to next steps. By leveling out the car, I'm at damn near 7 quarts. So important to level out the car for sure if you want to get all the waste oil out. So I would recommend that. Okay, so here is the refill plug, and I'm going to take this crush washer off here, put a new one on. I've changed the oil once prior to this since owning the vehicle, and I reused that washer, so I'm going to put a new one in this time. I've not had any leaks under the car, so should be no big deal. Okay. And now we can change the oil filter. All right, guys, this is just tough to see, but this back up in here is the filter housing. I'm pointing at it right here. It's a cylindrical thing. Hopefully you can see it. And that baby's gonna go up right there and grab hold of it. I don't know if you can see it here. It's sort of a filter housing screw. I believe that's the right one. And then we're gonna unloosen that baby. So I'm gonna need my other hand. I'll be right back with you. So just in case I get some drips when this disconnects, I do see a little drippage coming. So in case this does drip, and it's dripping for sure, I got another pan up under here. Should have wore my glove. Never can't seem to get my glove on at the right time. Oh well. Extended cleanup. That's what happens when you're working with vehicles and oil and whatnot. End up with some extended cleanup opportunities. Okay, so there's your filter housing wrench, and I'll clean that up, and the filter's already come out of there. So we're gonna get a new filter in there, put that thing back up here shortly. Okay, your filter, when you get it, is gonna come with a new O-ring, so I've replaced that already. And pop the new filter in, nice and clean. And now we're just gonna screw that baby back up to the housing. Get it started by hand here, and then get it by hand, and then we can go back to the wrench. Okay, that's good. My wrench. There we go. She wanted to hang on there. So that's 74 millimeter, that little number. All right, time to fill in the oil. And in this vehicle, it's nice, they're advertising Mobil 1, which is what we're using. And then I'm gonna put in everything I bought from the store, which is 5 quarts. I took out 7, and I have a little bit more of OW40. And then I'm gonna take the car and put it down flat, because this is an electronic dipstick. And the only way to gauge it is to get the car flat, and then it tells you on the dash whether you have enough oil in it or not. So we're gonna fill it up from that perspective. I happen to have the last little bit of this in the garage, which is good because it was 2 quarts, so a total of 7 in there, which is what came out. All right, that should do it. Time to drive it off the ramps. All right, gang, we're a wrap. That's a full oil and filter change on the 2015 Porsche Boxster S, and wasn't that tough. You know, anybody can do it if you get some ramps, you have some rudimentary tools, and you'll save some money. I think I'm all in at about 50 bucks. So take that into your high-priced Porsche dealer. Or even, you know, Jiffy Lube's gonna charge you a boatload. So you can see the repair and do it yourself while you're under the vehicle and know that it gets done, and save a little money along the way. So hopefully you learned something. Maybe you got a good laugh out of this. Come back to the channel. There'll be more on OG DIY, old guy, do it yourself. All right, be good. Bye-bye.